Good morning and welcome back to Sunny Side Up. Faith, how you doing this morning?
Good.
Good?
A little tired, but good. Yeah.
Well, we didn't sleep in as much as we like to do, have started like to do on Saturdays, so that is understandable.
I know it's 9:40, Michael.
Yeah, we're getting back to the time where I want to be doing the podcast. Slowly, we're working back there. I want to get back to doing this at like 6, 7 a.m. But I know I'll never get you to wake up that early on the weekends.
This will be a solo podcast if you do that.
It started off as a solo podcast. I also don't really want to go back to being a solo podcast, so we'll just go ahead and get started. Faith, I wanted to know, how caught up are you on current events?
Not a whole lot.
Oh, so if I said the name Punch the Monkey, does that mean anything to
No.
you? He's like a baby monkey in a Japanese zoo, and the story all started, I think 2-3 weeks ago, when Punch the Monkey was videotaped being rejected by the troop of monkeys, and his mom wouldn't accept him after he was born, and so he was alone and ostracized by the other monkeys. And then one of the zookeepers gave him a stuffed mom monkey. And so he would run around the I know you're looking at me concerned because I'm smiling. There's a happy ending, okay? So he would run around holding the stuffed monkey. So the stuffed monkey would just get trailed behind him everywhere, and it was very cute, but also very sad that this monkey was what he was attached to. One of the caretakers, Punch, latched onto him like emotionally and is like obsessed with him whenever he's in the what's the right word? The exhibit? Enclosure. There you go. That's the proper word there. So anytime he's in the enclosure, he just latches onto this guy. So reportedly, the zookeeper that works one of the zookeepers that works in his enclosures had to switch from like 4 to 6 days a week because Punch the Monkey was so obsessed with him. That's the only part of this that I can't like confirm with a news story. But the rest of it is all like confirmed and stuff. But people are up in arms about this monkey being abandoned and saying they will fly to Japan to beat up the other monkeys, that they're going to fight the rest of the troop. Yeah. And then IKEA, I'm pretty sure it was IKEA, went and donated several hundred or several thousand stuffed animals. Yeah. It's very heartwarming. And slowly the other monkeys have started to accept Punch. And it's very cute because he's like learning how to mimic their behavior. Like there was a clip where he was learning how to sit on a rock during a rainstorm so that his feet didn't get wet.
That's really cute.
Yeah, and his mom did finally embrace him. So there is a happy ending to this. Punch the Monkey has been abandoned for several weeks, but his troop has now finally accepted him. And it is, I feel like, dominating TikTok. Like this is like the current event to know right now. It's, yeah.
I have not seen anything about
People
that.
have been very up in arms. I'm surprised.
I know, me too.
The other one, not so sad, little funny. Have you heard about the missing mother that's been gone since 2000? Oh, she's been gone 24 years. Have you heard about her?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is wild. So 24 years ago, this mother of 3 and married, her husband lived with her, left to go get Christmas presents on December 9th, 24 years ago, and never came home. So obviously, the dad's been through all kinds of accusations over the years. People assumed it was him, blah, blah, blah. Well, she's been found after she was arrested for a DWI from 2001. She had an outstanding arrest warrant from
DWI?
driving while under the influence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was from 2001. So a few years after that DWI, she just disappeared going after she went for Christmas presents.
Okay, sorry, can we go back? I'm
Yeah.
so caught up on this. What is the difference between a DWI and a DUI? Because in my head, those are the same things, with just an extra word thrown in. Driving while under the influence and driving under the influence.
Driving under the influence and... Oh, okay. So DWI is more accurately driving while intoxicated or impaired. So, like, you could get a DWI for driving your car while under medication you're not supposed to.
Okay.
Or for marijuana, that kind of thing. Yeah. DUI is, I've pretty much only, I could be totally wrong on this, but I've only ever seen it as alcohol.
Okay, that's, yeah. Okay. Yeah. In my head, I was going driving under the influence, driving while under, that's the same freaking thing. What the heck?
Yeah, I think what it's most likely is like, you know, it's murder 1, murder 2, murder 3. You know that? Oh, come on. You've watched enough FBI shows.
That seems a little bit different to me.
To me, that's what the same thing is. Like, probably there's DWI, and then they're going to charge you with a DUI if it's real bad, you know? Because I feel like DWI comes with less penalties and consequences.
I disagree. I feel like it's
You didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, but now that you read that, I think it would be reversed. I feel like DWI would be worse than a DUI.
But we need to move on because this is so out of the bounds of what we know or should be allowed to speak about on a microphone. So we're going to move on because we have no right to discuss this right now. We've done no research. So anyways, let me get back to the point of the story. To catch you back up, she got a DWI in 2001, never showed up for a court appearance, and then a couple years later, she disappeared while she went on December 9th while she went to go get Christmas presents for her 3 kids, leaving her husband alone to raise those 3 kids. And you know, dad faced various accusations according to the daughter throughout the years, which is no surprise. We've all seen media, and people want to blame somebody. So she was finally found when officers got a tip lead about her outstanding arrest. They arrested her, but it was so long ago. They're like, oh, I kind of glanced over there and he didn't even say anything. She was found. She was found like last month.
Yeah, you said I feel like you're jumping a lot through the story and I'm not following.
I feel like I'm just getting a blank stare, so I don't know what to do here.
Because I'm not following.
Okay, what are you not following?
I don't know. I feel like you jumped around a bunch there.
I didn't jump around. I went, she got a DWI in 2001.
Okay.
A couple years later, she disappeared. 24 years later, she was found.
Okay, you said the daughter accused the dad?
No. I said, according to the daughter, the dad has been accused of all sorts of things.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the daughter accused the dad, and I was like, well, like, what? That's why I was confused. Okay.
They decided not to charge her for the DWI because it's been so long, but then they were like, okay, do we charge her for abandoning her 3 kids? And they're not. They're not going to charge her with anything.
I'd be kind of pissed if I was the dad.
I'd be kind of pissed if I was the kids.
Yeah.
So she told cops that she left because of ongoing domestic issues, which could mean a lot of things. And that's probably just cop talk for we're not going to share the actual reason she gave us, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, the daughter has come out and made a statement. Obviously, mixed bag of emotions. But she's saying she didn't just leave because of a bad marriage, but she said it in a way that was like, I interpreted it as, oh, the mom maybe had some mental health struggles going on. And so she just left. Because she kind of took the dad's side, which would tell me that it's not a bad marriage as in he was abusive or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to kind of read between the lines on this stuff, and that's the best I could do. But it was just a very interesting case. But, 24 years. And guess what? This whole time, she never even left the state.
Oh, my God.
She was still in North Carolina this whole time because that's where they were from. I forgot to mention that off the top. But, yeah, she never left the state. She was... And North Carolina is not that massive.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but 24 years ago, you didn't have to worry about deleting a social media profile. You could more easily start a brand new life before Facebook. So yeah,
that's kind of insane. Reminds me of those like unexplained mysteries that are on Netflix.
You'll have to expand on that.
Oh, they were so good. I couldn't watch them with my mom because my mom doesn't like not knowing the answer to things. But it was literally just a series. It was on before Netflix. It's like an old series.
Okay.
But they put it on Netflix, and it's literally just people telling unexplained mysteries of, like, there was this one where her husband went missing, and they, like, haven't been able to find him. 0 trace, and it's, like, the most bizarre, like, he was at this hotel, and they think that he jumped from like the ledge of the hotel on this other building because there's like a hole in the ceiling of this other building, and that would like make sense, but like things weren't lining up, like it didn't make sense, and like they haven't found this guy. They don't know where he went, and they can't figure out what happened to him. And there's just a bunch like that.
Is this like those amateur detective shows though? Or is this like...
No, it's not even a detective show. It's just them. It's like a documentary of them telling the timeline, and then at the end saying like, and we don't have an answer. We never found them.
So they kind of just like did a couple of interviews, took the police reports, and
basically, yeah.
Okay, got it.
And they like kind of played out, you know, in documentaries where they kind of play out with actors like what might have happened or like what they think happened and all that. So that's what they do. But
like in 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, my mom hated that show. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that show. My mom despised that show, Michael. And my brother was so hell-bent on watching it. She despised
I'm
that
surprised
show.
your mom would hate that show.
But yeah, anyways, the show it's really interesting, but my mom doesn't like it. Because if you don't like not knowing things, like the ending, then don't watch it.
Those shows aren't awful, but they just feel really low effort.
This one is... You haven't even watched it.
No, but I'm saying that style of show just feels like, I
don't think they are at all.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you, Faith. Would you like the good business news or the you're a shitty person business news first? You want the good or the bad business story?
Do the bad first.
The bad first. Okay, so... I was not expecting you to go with bad first. So,
if I have the option, I will always take the bad news first and the good news after.
I'm going to read to you a letter from Jack Dorsey that...
Ew.
What do you mean, ew?
Is that the kid? Is that the, like... Who is he?
The guy who owned Twitter before you know who.
Is that...
Before Elon.
How old is he? I feel like I've heard this name before, but I don't know if it's the same one because this doesn't feel like it's the same context.
Well, who are you thinking of?
Of, like... It's got to be the same one. He was the one that your sister was watching that documentary on of how he, like... had, like, managed girls on OnlyFans and, like, ended up stealing a bunch of money from them and, like, was super abusive.
No, that's not Jack Dorsey.
Maybe it's Doherty that I'm thinking of. It's very similar. Very similar. Let me try and find his name. Because
we are not talking about the same person. This guy is a...
very, very similar.
This guy is a tech guy who... Twitter before Elon. Anyways, so he is currently the CEO of Square.
Sorry. It's Jack Doherty. That's what this guy's name is.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar.
Very different worlds, though.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused at first. I was like, how would Michael know this guy? I was so confused.
Okay, so to the topic. I am going to read to you this note from that he posted to Twitter that he sent out to the whole company.
Okay.
And as I'm reading it, if you need to interject, just raise your hand, and I'll finish off the paragraph, and you can share what you need to say. Okay.
Okay.
Because it's a little long.
Okay.
But I think we need to get through all of it to have a proper discussion about this.
Okay.
And right off the bat, I need to remind everyone that we are an anti-AI podcast, and that the purpose of our podcast is not to discuss AI, and we're not supposed to discuss it anymore. But I think this is very relevant and discusses AI in a way we have not in the past.
Okay.
So, today we are making one of the hardest decisions in the history of our company. We're reducing our organization by nearly half, from over 10,000 people to just under 6,000. That means over 4,000 of you are being asked to leave or entering into consultation. I'll be straight about what's happening, why, and what it means for everyone. First off, if you're one of the people affected, you'll receive your salary for 20 weeks plus 1 week per year of tenure, equity vested through the end of May, 6 months of healthcare, your corporate devices, and $5,000 to put toward whatever you need to help you in this transition. If you're outside the US, you'll receive similar support, but exact details are going to vary based on local requirements. I want you to know that before anything else, everyone will be notified today whether you're being asked to leave, entering consultation, or asked to stay. We're not making this decision because we're in trouble. Our business is strong. Gross profits continue to grow. We continue to serve more and more customers, and profitability is improving. But something has changed. We're already seeing that the intelligence tools we're creating and using, paired with smaller and flatter teams, are enabling a new way of working, which fundamentally changes what it means to build and run a company, and that's accelerating rapidly. So, quick translation of that last paragraph. AI has empowered smaller teams to perform the same kind of work as larger teams, so we don't need you. Mm-hmm. I had two options: cut gradually over months or years as the shift plays out, or be honest about where we are and act on it now. I chose the latter. Repeated rounds of cuts are destructive for morale, to focus, and to the trust that customers and shareholders place in our ability to lead. Definitely true. Mm-hmm. You got to rip the Band-Aid off if you're going to do it. I'd rather take a hard, clear action now and build from a position we believe in that... Let me repeat that. I'd rather take a hard, clear action now and build from a position we believe in than manage a slow reduction of people toward the same outcome. A smaller company also gives us the space to grow our business the right way, on our own terms, instead of constantly reacting to market pressures. You could also just, not fire anyone. That's actually an option. Crazy idea. Or restructure the company and open up a new branch, like a new division. There's a thought. Anyways, a decision at this scale carries risk, but so does standing still. We've done a full review to determine the roles and people we require to reliably grow the business from here, and we've pressure tested those decisions from multiple angles. I accept that we may have gotten some of them wrong, and we've built in flexibility to account for that and do the right thing for our customers. We're not going to just disappear people from Slack and email and pretend they were never here. Communication channels will stay open through Thursday evening Pacific, so everyone can say goodbye properly and share whatever you wish. I'll also be hosting a live video session to thank everyone at 3:35 p.m. Pacific. I know doing it this way might feel awkward. I'd rather it feel awkward and human than efficient and cold. Okay, you got to at least give him a point for that. Trying to make it more human. It's always dehumanizing, but
I'm not going to take that as an excuse. You're going to say like,
whoa. No one said anything about an excuse.
No, like his.
It's not an excuse.
I'm not going to take him saying, I just want to be more human, when he's literally getting rid of people so AI can do their jobs.
Right, I know. That's but you still have to say most companies are not going to be human about it. They're just going to cut you off. So you do have to say at least he's, he might be 99% an asshole, but he's not 100%.
Okay.
You have to give it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
To those of you leaving, I'm grateful for you, and I'm sorry to put you through this. You built what this company is today. That's a fact that I'll honor forever, even though I'm firing you.
See,
this decision is not a reflection of what you contributed. You will be a great contributor to any organization going forward. And this is the last paragraph. To those staying, I made this decision, and I'll own it. What I'm asking of you is to build with me. We're going to build this company with intelligence at the core of everything we do, how we work, how we create, how we serve our customers. Our customers will feel this shift too, and we're going to help them navigate it towards a future where they can build their own features directly, composed of our capabilities and served through our interfaces. That's what I'm focused on now. Expect a note from me tomorrow.
Okay, first of all, his I'll keep channels open. You'll have a chance to say goodbye. I'll make it fuck you.
Okay, but that's more than most people get.
But imagine being in that situation where you were just let go to be replaced with AI, and he goes, but I'll keep communications open so you can say goodbye. I'd be like, fuck you.
It is cold and hard because there are people who, when they get caught up in this, all their devices are just shut down, and they're lucky if they get an email that day that explains you've been fired.
No, I understand that. I get that. I'm just saying I don't think that this is good either. Better than what it could be. Yeah.
I think in if you are fired, the best thing is the opportunity to keep your laptop and to say goodbye to your work friends. Whereas most people are, if you work in a building, you get escorted out by security guards.
But why couldn't you say goodbye to your work friends personally? Why does it need to be through this thing? Like, if you're really like connected in work friends, I feel like you have a different way to communicate with them.
Oh, that's not true. I like all of my D&D work. My work has a D&D group that we play after hours with. I only have one of their numbers because they needed to send me something. Otherwise, I would never ask for any of their phone numbers. And I consider them friends.
Okay. I feel like giving them the money and the laptops and stuff, I think that was a good move, obviously. Mm-hmm. I think him, like, addressing him being like, I'm, like, happy you worked here. Like, you helped build this.
See,
I feel like that's just a slap in the face for those people.
It is. Like, yeah, you've built this. Basically what he's saying is, in this, the people I'm firing, you have built this company. It is only as profitable and increasingly successful as it is because of you. But I can replace you with AI, and I feel pretty good about that decision. I feel pretty good about the return on investment. So we're going to go ahead and fire you, even though you gave me everything. I'm going to go ahead and fire you and replace you with machine code.
No, exactly. Like, that's just a slap in the face for those people. And I feel like him saying, I'm going to, like, make a big, like, say a thank you, like, that's just a bigger slap in the face. Like, they don't want a thank you from you. You just fired them to replace them with AI. They don't want to sit there and hear you say, I'm so grateful that you helped build it. Like, shut up.
This story gets a lot worse.
Oh, perfect.
So this was announced after the stock market closed. And aftermarket trades showed the exact opposite of what you would hope. Their stock went up by 20%. Everyone who was buying stock in this company and signaling support through financial means and partial ownership have shown that this was the best. Cutting 40% of your people and replacing with AI will be rewarded, will increase the valuation of your company by 19.37% was the exact number, something like that. Let's just round it up to 20 for simplicity. Plain and simple, this is bad. This is really bad.
Well, no shit. But because, like, where are they gonna get all this AI power? Are they gonna build more data plants that are gonna?
Okay, hold up. That's not the part that we need to be worried about here.
It's the part that I'm worried about.
I think you should be more concerned about the part that I'm most worried about, and that would be that every company is going to look at this and say, "Wow, this is the first major company to come out and say." I replaced 40% of our workforce with AI. And not only did I not meet backlash, but I gained 20% valuation in my company. Everyone else who's been waiting to do this is going to look at this and say, okay, good. I can do the same thing. If I get rid of 40% of my company, I will be rewarded. I will be rewarded from the people that matter, the stockholders. That is the part I think you should be most concerned about here.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm just saying that I think that the other point is also a big factor in this too. If you're replacing 40% of your workforce with AI, you have to get it from somewhere, which means they're going to start building more data plants and stuff.
Data centers.
Yeah, which is going to absolutely destroy our environment. And if all these other companies see that and want to do the same, it's going to make it even worse.
Yes, but I think we should be more concerned about the human impact, the direct human impact.
I'm not saying that that's not important. I'm just saying there's multiple levels to this that are going to be really destructive. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is above yours, that we should be more concerned about that. I'm just saying it is another major concern.
I can understand that. This is bad. Other companies will see this, see that they will be rewarded, and I think they're going to repeat the process. And I think we're going to see substantial. I think this is just a domino effect. Jack Dorsey broke the dam, and I think the rest of those dominoes are going to come down, and we'll start seeing more companies do this. But, you know, if we have major companies starting to destroy or get rid of 40% of their workforce, it only takes a couple companies like Microsoft to do that, and it's game over for the entire U.S. economy. It's game over for the housing market. I know I'm being pessimistic, and it sounds like, oh, Michael, they're figured out. They always do. Blah, blah, blah. Well, they don't. They don't always figure it out.
I don't think people can say, like, it's not that big of a deal anymore.
I think a lot of people are still going to say that.
I know, which is insane, because, like, it's happening now. Like, there are literally, artificial intelligence is literally replacing our jobs now. Mm-hmm. That's a huge, like, that's such a daunting, like, doomsday feeling, Michael.
and in the United States, yes.
Like, the economy that we're already at right now, making it even worse with this, I feel like we're going to be living in, like, Divergence or something, Michael. That is such a terrible feeling that you just gave me with that.
Well,
article.
Now you can have the good news.
Good. I am glad I did it this way, because there's literally, I feel like I'm going to throw up right now, Michael. This is a horrible feeling.
Here's a feel-good business thing, and I strictly believe in not giving businesses the good desserts they deserve. You want leave them hungry, make them feel underappreciated so that they work harder for us. But I do have to say that in this time, I'm going to give Renegade all the roses. Renegade Games is, the main product that I would like to share is that they have brought back HeroScape. Do you know who I'm talking about now? Okay. But they also do like My Little Pony, G.I. Joes, Power Rangers, Risk. I think they own Risk is what it is, or they own or they're like the main sellers of Risk. Either way, I think they have a lot of deals with Hasbro. They have a very close working relationship with Hasbro. So all this to say is, here's some feel good news. They took a look at our current tariff policies. They used to be 30% for board games. Now it's 15%. Okay. They went, all right, it's not as bad as it was. Let's see what we can do. So they are dropping the price on some products to pre-tariff levels. For instance, the army boxes of HeroScape. Going forward, starting in like a week or two, the prices will be dropped to pre-tariff levels. And they said, while there's still a 15% tariff, we've decided we will just cover that cost. We will reduce our profitability and cover the 15% tax that the products have, because, they come from China. Mm-hmm. And video games have a 15% tariff right now. So yeah, they're absorbing the cost, which is what these companies should be doing. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're going to sell a lot more stuff now.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to go back and if I have a few more bucks, I'll start buying armies again. And I think this is what companies should do. I think when times are tough and the government is making it harder for you, you have to take a hard look and say, what's more important, our bottom line or retaining customers? It's retaining customers. Yeah. That is the way to go. Mm-hmm. Especially as the economy worsens and we see more jobs being taken over by AI. Mm-hmm. You need people to be able to afford your products to stay in business. So at that point, your bottom line won't matter, and your profitability is zero. Yeah. So I think this, in a similar vein, I told you about the Doritos 10.5 ounce bags or 8.5, whatever those small hand sized, like mm-hmm. throw in your lunch pail size bags are. They're not increasing the quantity of Doritos in there, but they are returning it to an older price tag. They're reducing the cost of those grab and go Dorito bags. And I'm like, okay, great. That's also a positive step. I think they're kind of making a little bit too big of a deal out of it. Like they're doing us a favor when in reality they're kind of doing themselves a favor. Yeah. So I think some businesses are trying to twist it to like, oh, you know, it's for you, but really, it's kind of, but it's also so that people will still continue to buy your product, you know. So there's your feel-good business. Not as exciting or nearly as long as the AI thing, but I do think that this is a really good signal. I think that there are some businesses that are realizing, okay, we can't just keep steamrolling customers. You know, this traditional business practice in the United States, not quite the greatest way to go about this.
Yeah.
So, yay. We're gonna go ahead. We're getting close. Faith, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about this.
Okay.
You're in trouble.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. You conquered a lifelong fear of yours this week, and I'm really, really proud of you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You watched Tremors. You watched Tremors, which you have been deathly afraid of your entire life.
Well, here's the thing.
And I've been begging you to watch it since we got together.
I first watched Tremors with my best friend and one of our other friends. And the other friends...
I love that. You're like, you're not as important.
No, I can go on.
Okay.
Literally, no. Anyways, this girl's house was already, like, kind of creepy. I don't know, it was already kind of creepy. And we watched this in her bed that was elevated. It was, like, not a bunk bed, but it was, like, a really high-rise bed so she can, like, fit stuff underneath. So it was, like, pretty big. You had to jump to get on it. Well... She showed us Tremors, and I've just been scared of it since then. It just scared the hell out of me for some reason. And then every time we went, like, the two of us would go over to this girl's house, she'd want to watch it again. Because it was, like, fun for her. And Rachel and I were like, this is insane. And she was one of those friends that were all, my house, my rules. So, like, we didn't really have a choice. We had to watch this fucking movie. And then she'd try to shove us off the bed to land on the ground. Like, she, like, tried to make a game out of it and would try and push us off the bed. It was a whole thing, Michael. It was a whole thing. So that's why it terrified me. Mainly because of a shitty friend and then because of that. So.
But you got through it.
Yeah.
And you liked it.
Yeah, and then we watched it and I was like, okay, first of all, these people aren't just complete freaking idiots.
No, like, it's a horror movie in which the characters are actually kind of smart.
The characters are actually very intelligent, and they had a ton of actually great ideas. I was like, okay, because I hate horror movies when they're just so dumb. You're like, come on, like, do you have any brain cells? Mm-hmm. These people actually were, like, very smart about it and very tactical. And honestly, if I'm being so for real, the main character, I can't remember his name, I really like him.
Bacon's character?
Yes, I really like him in Footloose. And so that was part of the reason why I was like, no, I fuck with this.
Okay. So, all in all, you like the movie now. You don't think it's bad?
I would be willing to watch the second one with you.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah.
Would you watch the old Western one?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Steps. We're taking steps. Well, I'm very excited. I love the fact that you like this movie now, especially because it is... I've been really struggling in deciding what really is my number one favorite movie. Whether it's Tremors, Tropic... No, I'm kidding. Deep eye roll from across the table. Whether it's Tremors or the 80s fantastic movie... Buckaroo Banzai Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension. You know, I'm really struggling between those two.
I'm surprised you didn't list Mummies in there.
Well, Mummies, it's kind of like right there. Like those three are like tied for first through third, and I just don't know what goes there. It's very frustrating. Anyways, I wanted to give my recommendation, and I went back and forth about doing this.
Sorry, I just thought, I was like, your like movies that you can't decide between are your favorite are very, very different than the movies that I can't decide. Like, mine's like Alice in Wonderland and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And, like, that vibe. Tim Burton, basically.
Yeah. Your top favorites are
Tim Burton fan.
Yeah. Some of us just have elevated taste.
Which, I don't know where I got that from because my mom really does not like him. Like, she thinks his movies are too creepy. But I love every single time I watch a movie that was directed by Tim Burton. I'm like, yeah. this is exactly the vibe, and like it just hits every time. It's I gotta say,
good. I'm on Nicole's side on
this.
A
lot of people are, and I've accepted it. It's a very specific vibe.
Yeah.
And it's just like The Corpse Bride is also up there. I love The Corpse Bride, Michael.
And yet you won't watch Coraline.
See, here's the thing. I know that if I watched it as like a teenager or an adult, I probably would have really, really loved that movie. But it's the same thing with Tremors. It just traumatized me so much when I was a kid that it just makes me anxious watching it now. Like, I've had friends that have tried to get me to watch it, and it just makes me so anxious I can't do it.
Okay. Well, as I was trying to end the podcast, my recommendation, I went back and forth about whether or not I wanted to do a raunchy comedy in my official movie recommendation list. Raunchy comedies are very a product of their time. And you know what I mean?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So I went back and forth, and I wasn't really sure. I think there's reasons to say that they're problematic, but then there's reasons to say maybe not so much. But I am going to recommend the first raunchy comedy to be on the movie watch list, to be Grandma's Boy. Faith, do you remember watching Grandma's Boy, and what did you think about it?
I do not remember watching that.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's about a bunch of nerdy guys who worked at a video game development.
Oh,
Okay, so what did you think of it?
I only remember like bits and pieces. Can you give me like the premises again of it? Maybe I'll remember a little bit.
Sure. So when the main character, who's played by
Alan.
Who was it? Alan Covert.
He works at the video game company, and they're designing this game.
And then his roommate doesn't pay rent for several months, so then he comes home and he gets kicked out, and then he has to try and find a place to live, and so he ends up going to live with his grandma. His grandma is like, "Oh, that's so sweet of you. Yes, I would love to have you around." And he takes her dead roommate's bedroom, and then the rest of the movie is kind of like a combination of just like stoner tropes, like, dude, his weed dealer got a monkey. Do you remember that? Here's the thing. His weed dealer bought a tiger.
Yeah, I remember like very specific clips from this movie, and I know that they were working on a video game. I know that I thought it was like fine. It like wasn't my favorite thing ever, but I know that it was like I wasn't like upset with it. I was like, yeah, this was like decent. Can't remember anything else about that movie though. I have no idea what else happens in that movie though.
The video game he's working on in private gets stolen, and the only way to prove that it's his video game is for his grandma to kick the nerdy guy's ass and say, "My grandson built this game."
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember like the middle part of that movie.
That's okay. I wouldn't want to give it away. This is a great movie that you should watch. It's got great actors, including Alan Covert, Peter Dante, Nick Swardson, Jonah Hill, a very young Jonah Hill, might I add, Doris Roberts, which is a great actor, Shirley Jones, great actor, David Spade is in the movie. It's just got a really great cast. It's from 2006, and so it's kind of a great time for comedy movies in mid 2000s.
That was like the time of like the raunchy comedies.
Yeah. And I would say this movie is not that raunchy.
I don't
I'm trying to remember. I think there's a single pair of boobs in the whole movie.
Yeah. I can't.
No penises.
I can't remember.
There's almost no like sex that happens, and you don't see any sex. It's just kind of raunchy, and that some of the jokes are a little raunchy. So it just kind of dips its toe into raunchy comedy, but not that much. Honestly, I would say that it's more of a stoner comedy than it is raunchy.
I think so too.
So I guess I remain pure. No raunchy comedies on the list.
Because I think I would group that into like the same category of Dude, Where's My Car? I'd put those two in the same boat.
Okay. What's your recommendation so we can get out of here?
My recommendation is season 4 of Bridgerton. It was
Okay. Okay.
I hope that didn't recommend that last time.
No, I don't know. No, you didn't.
If I did, just watch part 2 then.
No, it was that very rough movie from Nickelodeon.
Oh my gosh, Michael, we need to share your thoughts on that. Because Michael did watch the previous movie recommendation that I had with Rags. And I did make Michael watch it with me.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I don't know if I should give a recommendation.
That's okay. I've kind of shit on a lot of your movies, so that's okay.
All right. No, I'm not going to be... I'm not going to stoop to your level. Not for me.
I knew that going into it, that a Nickelodeon musical about that wasn't going to be your vibe. But from
it's literally millennial cringe for Gen Z. That's what it is.
Okay. But from a Nickelodeon, if you were my age watching that on TV, what do you...
Yeah, millennial cringe for Gen Z.
Okay. You have no other thoughts on that?
I don't really know what else to say about that.
They did really well at knowing who their target audience was and appealing to it full force. Because it got me good. It got me good, Michael.
But see, I don't know. Because I am starting to think that millennial cringe era right there, where that movie came out in Nickelodeon and Disney, those movies were made for millennials, but was too late, so they were getting served to Gen Z, but Gen Z was not their target audience. That's my interpretation. It feels like they made that movie for the youngest of millennials, but the youngest of millennials had already moved on from those channels mostly, and they were not going to watch that. And so what they got is the oldest of Gen Z, you. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the time that this movie came out was also during the era of all the Cinderella movies. There are so many versions that Nickelodeon and Disney did of Cinderella stories. There's 2 or 3 that are
yeah, to summarize this movie, it's Cinderella but a guy.
Yeah, in music. It's basically a musical. Yeah. So it was during the time of when all these Cinderella movies were coming out and were super popular, a Cinderella story.
I think we talked about all this
Cinderella
last week,
story. There was a lot during that time, and I think they were trying to be let's take that but twist it, obviously, because but yeah, anyways, I think it turned out great.
Yeah, and let's get back to your recommendation.
I loved Disney and Nickelodeon's era of their Cinderella movies. I think they're great. So anyways, my recommendation is Bridgerton season 4, and it's a Cinderella story. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Season 4 of Bridgerton is Cinderella. I will say Benedict is just stupid the entire way. He should have, I don't know. He's just a little dumb. Would you, the few episodes that you watched? He's just a little dumb.
I don't know who that is.
The main guy. The one trying to figure out who Cinderella is.
Oh. I think every single character in that show acts pretty fucking dumb. It kind of drives me a little bit crazy. But it's also the social expectations of how you act back then. And I think I would have just offed myself.
Yeah, I know.
If I lived back then.
I know.
I think I'd probably just tie a rock around my shoes. And just...
Well, let's get this straight first of all. I don't think you would be middle class in that area, Michael. I think that you probably would have left. If you were born into it, I think you would have been I'm out. Sorry. And you wouldn't.
Go and live in my countryside estate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you would have totally dipped out on that. Anyways, I think it's great. Season 4 is good. The ending, I feel like the ending they left way more open-ended than they usually do. There was a lot of things that were not resolved in the end, and I feel like they haven't done it that, not bad, but there was a lot of loose ends that did not get tied up within this season. So...
maybe that means the next season will come a lot quicker.
Doubt it, but we can hope.
Okay. Well, that wraps us up for Sunny Side Up. This has been a very confusing, very difficult to get through episode, and I hope that if this is your very first episode, that go check out one of the more recent episodes because it was a little less painful to get through. I think on our side that was a little rough today. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I guess let's go to a flea market, Faith.
Mm-hmm.